One of the things you often have to do when editing a program is cut B-roll into a voiceover or into somebody on camera explaining something. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. We have a background track, and in the background track, it's Vanessa just kind of telling me what we're going to do when we really start rolling. And I'm going to use this as a reference because I'll be able to go through the whole recipe in about 12 or 13 seconds. So if we look at the background track that I grabbed, we can see it's just Vanessa telling me what we'll be doing.
You're going to add the tapioca flour, the cheese, the eggs, the oil, and the water. It's the mixer.
So let's go ahead and start cutting in the B-roll. Now, you might have been playing with our track targeting if you have watched the previous videos. So I want to show you a quick way that you can reset that. If you right-click in the area where you do the track targeting, there is an option for default source assignment, and it will reset everything back to the way it was when you first launched Premiere the very first time. And this is really useful if you've moved things all around. Now, we did learn how to turn off the audio track before we bring in a clip, but there's another really great technique if you like to drag and drop your video from your source panel into your timeline. How do you do just the video or just the audio without actually turning off the track targeting? And you can do that very simply by clicking on either of these icons. I can bring in just my audio, or in this case, just my video. Now, I've already marked an endpoint where I want to start putting in my cutaways, and I'm going to simply grab the video-only track and drag it down to the timeline. Let me play this first part, and when she says the second ingredient, we'll start our next cut.
You're going to mix it up. You're going to add the tapioca flour, the cheese.
So right when she says the cheese, and if I wanted to, I could scroll down here and make this track a little bit bigger so I might be able to see where she breaks up the words. And I'm going to simply mark an endpoint I in my timeline, go grab the cheese, I'll double click it. I've already marked endpoints where I think good starting points are. However, I'll be able to finesse this later with some of the advanced techniques that we'll learn in later videos. So let's go ahead, bring in the cheese. I'm simply doing a drag and drop. Now, if I let go, because I did not grab the video only, it would put the audio in on the lower track. So let me just make sure that the audio is turned off, and I can scroll up to do that. So I'm just making sure that's turned off and grabbing the video, dragging that element, hitting play.
The cheese, the egg.
And I've actually already marked endpoints or potential endpoints in all of these clips. So I can drag them directly from the project panel into my timeline, and it will respect the endpoints that I marked. And this will make things very quick.
Cheese, the eggs,
the oil. And now I'll probably smooth these out with dissolves or some sort of effect, but I just want to get the timing right.
The oil.
Water.
And the water.
We're going to put it in a mixer.
It's the mixer. You're going to mix.
We're going to mix it up.
Mix it up.
And let's take a look at the dough ball. And
we're going to press it out onto the pizza.
So there's our dough ball. If you notice, I have little pieces of the previous takes that might have been longer because I'm simply doing override edits. But look how fast I can just drag things in once I've organized my elements. So we have the dough ball, and then I want to go ahead and we're going to be pressing the dough and then putting toppings on. This has an incredibly long shot, so I'm going to go ahead and not worry about it. I'll hit play.
Add onto the pizza pan. Then we're going to
top it. And I'll put some sauce on.
Top the pizza.
And we'll put some cheese on. The chicken. And I'm just ballparking it here. No onions on this pizza today. And maybe just some parsley. Okay. And then I can go ahead and hit the backslash key and delete everything off at the end. Hit the backslash key again. Oops. One delete too many. And let's take a look at our rough cut of the B-roll montage.
You're going to add the tapioca flour, the cheese, the eggs, the oil, and the water. It's the mixer. You're going to mix it up. Then we're going to press it out onto the pizza pan. Then we're going to top the pizza.
Okay.
Super easy.
as you see, it's very easy to cut the B-roll in. And now what I would do is I would probably massage it by putting dissolves for transitions, or even putting in spaces to let it breathe a little bit so it's not so back to back to back. And then ultimately would finish it off with some titles. But that's the essence of cutting B-roll to a voiceover.